Bill Rose, 219 Inverness.
Thank you.
I have a few concerns surrounding the proposed rates within the rate order. One, they're not equitable based on use. Two, they're not transparent. Three, they lack basis. Number one, the rates are not equitable based on use. I've reviewed my MUD statements for the last 8 years, and there's one constant. When I do not water the lawn, my water use is 3,000 to 4,000 gallons a month. It's reasonable to consider 4,000 gallons a month my sewer usage. The selection of 12,000 gallons for a use factor under the current rate order, or in the increase to 18,000 gallons in the proposed rate order, is arbitrary and without basis. There's a simple solution. That solution is to do either a 12 or 24-month look back, capture 2 or 3 lowest months water use, average them, and make the property's monthly sewer use, make that the property's monthly sewer use for 1 year. New customers could start with an average community use rate, then determine the sewer costs and apply them on a 1,000 gallons used basis across everybody's property. That eliminates this discussion about how much I use for watering my lawn and whether I need to put in another system. It also covers the rate requirement. Number two, the rates are not transparent. The proposed rate order includes sewer costs in the water rates. This is a clear attempt to make the wastewater treatment plant replacement costs less apparent and more palpable. To this point, the rate order sales pitch has been about a 5% increase in water rates from Fort Worth. I based that upon a previous information I got off the MUD site. The 21% is new. And the amount that they were looking at from Fort Worth is in the neighborhood of $300,000, which seems to remain the same. We all know the MUD blends in well water at a lower cost, so any increase in the water rate should be less than 5%. What has not been discussed in the public up to this point was the potential $15 million wastewater treatment plant cost, which over 20 years at 3.5% interest will have an annual payment of $1,043,927 and a total cost over the life of the loan of, let's round it to $20.8 million. My question is, why do a revenue bond and lose the $5.2 million potential IRS tax refund for your customers based on a 25% tax bracket? The agreement with the town does not preclude the MUD from issuing COs or GO tax-based obligation. 3, the rates-backed basis. According to the preliminary engineering report, the less expensive and proven CAS option that you're currently operating with was bypassed. A hybrid option was dismissed after both the engineers and the wastewater plant superintendent stated that a hybrid system would work. The design selected for engineering is larger than required and lacks an EQ basin that was strongly recommended by the engineers. The rate order is based on $6 million in revenue-supported debt. According to the last information from Director Thomas, the estimated cost of the plant has grown to $13.4 million. Subtracting out the current bond liability leaves $7.6 million, or a funding shortage under the current rate order of $1.6 million. The rate order under discussion uses reserves to cover project funding shortfall for FY14 and 15 of $553,000. I quickly did the math on the discussion about whether the water rates were covering the sewer rates. I calculate that the sewer rate increase is $720,000 to cover a $1.04 million debt increase. To wrap up, I would like to request that the MUD base the sewer rates on a more realistic calculation. Stop the shell game. If it's a water cost, it goes in water rates. If it's a sewer cost, it goes in sewer rates. Then select the most cost-effective solution for the wastewater treatment plant. And please communicate and give reasonable, rational rationale for your decisions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.